Hello and welcome to Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Work Show, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are coming to you live on the newstreamingnetwork.com, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network Radio, TV, and podcast. I am here and so excited to be reunited with my dear friend and co-host in peace, Miss Janice Leonard.
Yay!
Janice, I saved the part for you to share the topic of the show because this is one you sent me.
Oh yeah,
What's our topic for today?
Well, good. Funny you should ask. Wait a minute, I got to remember what it is. No, I mean you just say it so well. I mean I can say, but you just the way you word things. Anywho, yeah. So this is something we've talked about before. It's not a new concept. But I would say it's a little deeper. I'm hearing it and feeling it deeper. It's meaning something more to me. And I think that I'm doing this group. I'll tell you more about it in a little while, it's just a little different approach, but you're not flawed. You are human. I know this is big news, but, but you know, you can't hear it enough. I think just you're in a different place every time you think about it, and you be able to go a little deeper, understand it more, or maybe you're open more to hear it and to feel it and to believe it. You know?
Absolutely. And before we dive into that head first, we're going to take care of some updates, newsworthy. I don't know what we're going to call them. You said I'm good with words. It just totally left me.
Well, it's okay.
What's new for you?
There you go. Straight to the point.
Straight to the point. We want to remind everybody that this season we're doing our first 6-part series with Elohi Magdalena Rosa. She did part 1 July 2nd, and she's going to continue doing the first show of every month. So our next show with Elohi, I don't know why I always do that, is August 6th. The Body is the Grail. And in it, she does a teaching, a transmission, and an activation. So if you missed July 2nd, go back and watch it again to prepare yourselves for August 6th.
Yeah, because this is, I mean, for people who are like me, this is all new. And it's amazing. I still don't understand all of it, but I'm looking forward to the series so that I can accept it and make it part of me, integrate it into me. There you go.
Yes.
I'm getting the words right now, aren't I, Judy?
The other new thing Janice and I wanted to offer is the Be Here Now monthly chat and chew, where we invite you to grab a drink and a snack and join us on the last Saturday of every month for an opportunity to come together. He's flipping through them real fast. To come together, we can chat about show topics from the month, do a guest Q&A, and anything else that's on your heart that you want to talk about. We're keeping the group small to around 10, just so that connection can be made. And if you're interested, please reach out to me to reserve your spot for our first Be Here Now monthly chat and chew on July 25th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. Please email me at judyforder@comcast.net and include BHN-CNC in the subject line.
That's right. And, you know, I've really felt deeply affected by this podcast, you know, growing with everybody and sharing the growth and the journey and tools and everything. But I do miss, you know, Judy and I certainly have back and forth, but we don't get to do that during the podcast. And this is just a chance for connection because I don't think I know I don't have enough connections in my life. And it's just a chance to connect and like-minded people or people who are looking like us, so it doesn't matter. And so it's a chance. And we're doing it on Saturdays, so you don't have to, if you work, you can make it unless you work weekends. It's not at night, so I can still go to bed on time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah, join us.
All right. Janice, tell us about the nonprofit.
We are part of a 501c3 nonprofit, which it means to you, it means that we don't make money on this. and you can help defray some of our operating costs by making a tax-free donation. And you can go to our website, peacefulempowermentworks.org. There's a donate button on the top, one on the bottom. And also you can see all our shows. There's a tab for the shows that get posted every week. And we appreciate your support. If you want to just like this, share it, make a comment, anything, subscribe. Anything is appreciated. Just listening to us, we appreciate you.
Absolutely. All right. Janice, would you like to ring us in?
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Whew. All right. That felt real good.
Slow start. It is a bad angle that I'm at doing this, sitting here like this, but it came out good. So
she sings how she sings.
Yeah.
All right. So our pathway to peace today. You are not flawed. You are human. Now, I was telling Janice in our pre-show meeting that this is a great topic, and Janice brought it to us. She sent me some pages from a workbook that she's working out of. So I just did some bullet point notes for slides today. And but when I sat down to start working on the show, the stream of consciousness, whatever it is you want to call it, started coming through. So it's a lot of words, but this is the message that I received for the show today. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. So here we go. So Barry, if you can go to the next slide, please. There we go. Okay. You're not flawed. You're human. Those are not just words. They're a declaration, a collective battle cry for us to wake up and remember that we are here in these meat suits to experience life, not be afraid to live it. It's in our genetic makeup to seek community for safety. Yet we have grown up in a society where companies make billions of dollars a year off of convincing us that we aren't enough. Marketing strategies specifically focus on pain points that attach to every vulnerability known to man, convincing us that we should never feel pain or discomfort. It's not safe to be alone. The message, if you don't use our product, you won't fit in, or you may feel sadness. All our ego hears is you won't fit in, which means you're going to die. It's not okay to be sad, angry, frustrated, or grieving. For that reason, we learn at an early age how we need to adapt in order to fit in, not feel the bad stuff, even when it requires us to hide who we are and stuff down our undesirable emotions. Familiar performance is better than unknown, right? What would it look like for you to entertain the idea that you are absolutely perfect just the way you are? That it is safe for you to feel all of the feels. Yeah, Janice and I were talking in the pre-show. We're learning through all of this that, it's not that our immature ego or our mind is a bad thing. Its main job is to keep us safe. So if we fight against that natural instinct, then there's conflict. But if we get curious and start asking questions, it allows the mind to open. It allows the ego to relax and see that maybe there's a different way. Because we don't have a saber-toothed tiger chasing us. That immediate fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response is needed in some situations, but it's not needed all the time.
Yeah.
And that pain point that marketing hits, that's what it's going for.
Yeah. Well, I've been on a journey. We all are. And for my journey, I've come a long way in the last couple of years, along with Judy. And I've just joined another group, and it's called second chapter. And it's it's a lot of the same things we talk about, a little different angles. So I was talking about, and I got a workbook for it, and it's by the coach firm, and it's called Mind Firm Method. And this is a foundational course, and I had paid for this, so you don't get it for free, except for what we talk about. So I go to this. It's called Second Chapter, and Janelle Brown, if you know who she is, it's really amazing. But this chapter would just, well, it's not, this is a chapter, yeah. It really just hit me to home. And again, I know I'm learning, and know that I'm okay the way I am, but this is a little deeper this time. And the last couple weeks, I've had the feels. I've had some big feelings, and that's why we're doing this topic. But I want to give everyone credit who deserves it. And, we're taking a little bit of it, but it's part of the second chapter. Janelle Brown and the people who wrote this book. It's the coaching firm. So if you can look up the coaching firm online, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And that you can see they do life coaching courses, and it's very interesting. Okay, so that's giving credit where it's due. It talks about your brain and so on, and you're normal. Okay, that's Judy's got great PowerPoint, so we can do the technical parts later if we want to. But these last couple weeks. Last week I went to Canada with my granddaughter, who I'm raising. We adopted her, and her two friends. So there's me and 3 teenagers. And
you are a brave woman.
Yeah. And next week I'm going camping with them all and 2 more. So go figure that. But Adriana for me is interesting because she has she's reactive attachment disorder she's had since we got her, and she doesn't attach with me well. So it's very hard. And sometimes I get the wisdom to know it's not about me, but sometimes it's harder to remember that. And since she doesn't spend time with me or anything, all of a sudden I'm in Canada with her, full time with her. And so I feel it. I feel the lack of attachment more.
Right.
And I was there, and then I ended up getting left at this mall. It's a different language. It's, Montreal, and a different country. And I didn't have service, and, it was scary, and you were Ubering places. But when in big cities, it doesn't necessarily go to you where you are physically. You have to meet them someplace. Mm-hmm. I didn't get that. So they left me alone. They wanted to go to the amusement park, and I just said, "Oh, I guess I'll go back to the room." And got myself a new pair, Levi shorts.
Nice.
Because you get this like almost 35% the value of the American dollar over Canadian, so you kind of feel like you're getting a discount. That's how I rationalized it. And then we were back there, and I was like, "She doesn't want to be with me. She doesn't love me. She doesn't, and then
you started spinning the old story.
Yeah. And this is exactly, first of all, it's like so many levels to that. It's the level of that really is a core belief of mine. Mm-hmm. It comes up a lot more than I even recognized, that I'm not lovable and I'm not okay. And it's coming up, and so I'm going through the process. Okay, Janice, you're seeing it. Yeah, that's what you're feeling. And I and then my response was like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go in my room. I don't need you. No, I didn't think that. But in a way, it's like, fine, because if I'm not right with you, I don't get hurt.
Right.
So that's like a little twisted kind of thinking. And
but that's a perfect that's a perfect example of how the mind adapts to make it more comfortable.
So what you do, you say, okay, I can't be with them. They'll hurt me. They're not going to love me. Okay, I can't be there because they're going to hurt me. They don't love me. I've done a lot of that in my life, and it's really unfortunate. Well, for me and for other people, But I saw it, and so I was feeling sorry for myself. I look at, okay, it's this. Wow, that's that feeling coming up again. This is a core belief. I get it now. Finally, this really is a core belief I have. And okay, but this is not about her, and you just do it. Okay, and what else? Okay, you know what? I am really okay, then with the whole second chapter is what can you replace that thought with? That's one of the things they do next. Okay, well, I'm really lucky that I'm having the opportunity to grow that issue with her because it's her issue and mine. And maybe, we can grow together, so I tried to switch it because I don't want to be in that. It's not true anymore. That story is not true. If it was true, whatever.
I mean, and that right there is switching it. That's just not true anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the process, and that's all like the stuff we talk about, and even in this, they're talking about you're okay the way you are, and then I'm like, okay, because normally then I'd beat myself up because oh my gosh, look what you're getting into, poor you, how about saying, Janice, oh look at that, you get that core beliefs come up again. Mm-hmm. That's okay, that's who you are, that's what's your life's been, and that's how it is. I don't have to beat myself up for it, and then try to switch it. What can I think instead? Mm-hmm. It was great. Is that just that one experience, just what the epitome of what we talk about and how I've been able to grow. I'm so lucky about, and even that it's put in a different way, but very clearly in this second chapter section, because you go there and it's something different. Like I pretty much isolate myself. I don't have challenges. I got this. Well, is the couch going to be comfortable today? I don't know. but I have thought. I'm kind of changing. I don't think I'm changing topic a little bit, but I got sidetracked here. But I do think, like, even one thing that's happened about the couch. Let's talk about that. Is I think what I said. I thought the other day, and I said to my husband, "You know what? I am recovering from a lifetime of stress." Mm-hmm. My body's tired. My mind is tired. I just was like, it's okay. I was like, oh, it's okay. And, it was just the weirdest thing. Again, I am okay. I am normal. I might, but, when you grow up, like I was the youngest of four. Mm-hmm. And, we were the baby boomers. We're all baby boomers. My father was World War II, Depression, So there's a way that we were brought up of not having feelings. Mm-hmm. You don't not be seen or heard as a child, and all that kind of stuff, and you don't matter. And I had, my mother died when I was 4. My father remarried when I was 6 to a woman who was not able to be okay with me, and it just gave me a clear message. I think I'm guessing this is what's from. Okay, but you know what? I've gone through a lot of therapy, and I got through a lot of trying to understand that. Mm-hmm. And what's cool is right now, it's not so much about just understanding that. Why do I feel bad all the time? Yeah. Okay. I think I get it now. I don't think I'm lovable. Okay. So I'm not a freak because of it. I don't, my siblings, they didn't talk about feelings. And if I wanted to say, like, I remember my dad, he's not perfect. He was a great man to me and loved him. He's not perfect. I remember saying to my sister once, my dad did, and she's like, well, hey, dad, he could have left us after mom died. He didn't. He kept us all. And so, but I was like, feeling like I'm a bad child for even having bad feelings about my dad. And so, but that's how my family was. You don't talk about bad feelings. Mm-mm. And so here I am feeling like I am the freak because I have these feelings. My feelings were big. Mm-hmm. So, but you know what? It's normal. It's friggin' normal. Do you know what? We all have feelings like that. We all feel, I can't think of anyone who wouldn't, but we might not be able to label it yet, or just that bad feeling. You might not know that's what you're feeling, but, you feel like you're isolated, alone. And, I hope that one thing any of our listeners and watchers will get from this is that you're not alone, because that's a big part of my story was too. Mm-hmm. Is, nobody would understand. I can't tell you my secrets because you'll know how bad I am. Right. You'll know how sick I am, how I have mental health problems or whatever, So, you do a lot of the surface relationships, but I can't do surface anymore. So, yeah. So I just that's this big part of the feelings for me. And, well, there's a second part to it, which may or may not fit in the second half, but we'll see where.
Let's talk a little bit about all of that, because that's great. That's a perfect example for
Oh, we get a message from Jennifer. Your awareness of this pattern coming up for you is amazing, Janice. There was a time you'd have spiraled on those feelings. It's absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Jen, because
Yes.
I
Thank you,
want to
Jen.
run over that part. This was amazing because, feeling all of the feels is part of the human experience. Whereas, like Janice just said, we were taught at a very young age that it's not okay to feel certain feelings. But being human, the meat suit that we're in is all about coming here and learning through the emotions. They're a tool. There's something to alert us that something is happening. So we weren't taught to pause and ask the question. Janice is always, since she started taking this course, it's like, what are the facts? You were able to beautifully, they call it the watcher, we call it the observation deck. You were able to beautifully sit on that observation deck and work through the process. And
And
that's
it's not like, I always feel like, oh, I'm not there yet, so I'm not a success. But that's like, no, this is the human experience. We are experiencing life, and it's a journey, and we're on our way to wherever we're going. There's no right or wrong or done or successful.
no.
I love that. It's so freeing when you can believe that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so nice.
It really is. And that's, we're meant to feel the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, because there's a lesson in it for all of it.
And feelings normal and natural. All the
yes.
feelings.
And you aren't your feelings. You are experiencing the feelings.
Yeah.
And when we experience the feelings, that means we're willing to let them go. They're meant to flow through us. Even the good ones. The good ones are meant to flow too, because if we hold on to a good feeling, then we're limiting how much better it can get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
or eating, the feelings would be there. And okay, that's when I'd eat, right? I learned to eat, and I had weight issues my whole life. And, but yeah, I know logically that doesn't serve my best, but I didn't care.
it calmed, exactly. It calmed
I
that
needed
part
it.
that was freaking out.
I see people judging people. Oh, jeepers, we're at break time. So why don't we can go ahead to the break, and then we can come back to this.
Even computing what you were saying. Yes. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Before we do that, I want to end with this question, because we're talking about being curious. If all you've ever done was ask yourself what's wrong with you, what would it feel like to ask yourself what's right with you? We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Work Show, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are discussing the fact that we are not flawed, we are human.
That's right.
And we got another comment from Jen. Jen's hot today.
Oh, we love her. We have to allow the feelings and not judge them as good, bad, or acceptable or not acceptable. Yes. Move through them all. Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Jen.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. When we left off, we left you with the question of what would it feel like to ask yourself what is right with me?
It's still a little uncomfortable.
Of course it is. Because it's something different. The protective mind, the protective ego doesn't like change. And that's a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw in the pages that you sent me, the ego mind's job is to keep us safe. That's what we talked about. And there's 3 specific areas: seeking pleasure, instant gratification, eating. That's Janice's example right there. Conserving energy. So it wants to keep our effort minimal, because we may have to run from that saber-toothed tiger at any time. And avoid pain. Stay safe and look out for the danger. So I feel like, Janice, you hit all of them perfectly. You know, the seeking pleasure, you brought up the fact that you would eat to calm that. The conserving energy, you zone out and sit on the couch. Avoiding pain, those uncomfortable feelings you were told you shouldn't feel.
Mm.
You made them disappear. And we all have our ways in which we've done that.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
so
we continue.
oh,
It's not a success. It's like, okay, I was successful. I'm done. Yay. Close the book. No.
it's like you said earlier, it just comes back. It's a spiral, baby. It comes back at a deeper level. And the fact that you can see it, the fact that you saw what was happening, you saw what was unfolding. The second we can pause, it stops that automatic response and allows something else to happen.
I get another example of what's happened just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Is my brother, I get two brothers, but my brother closest to my age, he has moved back to New Hampshire, which is where we're from, where we grew up. And I went down to help him. Now, the story, I don't know, I might have said this story before, but it's much deeper now. So I feel like I haven't, because the story to me is very different. Now, he's married, and he's been with this girl since he was a junior in high school, I think. So she's been in my life. I'm 5 years younger than him. So since if he was junior, he was 16, 17. So I was 15, 10, 11, I don't know, whatever that minus 5 is. And that's not my thing. And so she's been a part of my life, most of my life. And, you know, she's like invited me to live with them one summer in college. I went out there, and you know, my brother was Mr. Everything to me in my mind. But you know, sometimes I found her a little irritating for me, but you know, I didn't think much of it. I didn't know enough to think much of it. And I also part of you don't judge family members. They're your family. You don't do that, analyze them and think about how bad they are, if there's any problems. You don't do that. So I really didn't do that. And it wasn't until a few years ago, gosh, maybe it was 10 now, I don't know, you know, 1, 10, 15, 20, I don't know, that it just dawned on me that she didn't really like me. Now, that is something I could not ever face.
Right.
You know, because you know, if she doesn't like me, I'm unlovable. See, his family member doesn't love me. You know, it would have that would be a huge one. So again, I can see that now, because all of a sudden, like 10 years ago, I got it. I said, she doesn't like me. My brother was visiting, and not, you know, it's not mean to me, but she just doesn't seem to, you know, whatever. And I just stopped. I looked at my brother, and this is, if I'm 62 now, I was probably 50. I mean, we're talking older, and like, I just stopped and looked at her and said, she doesn't like me, does she? It's like at 50 years old, this woman's been my life. And he says, well, I love you. You know, so in other words, you know, she probably, you know, so that's why I wasn't part of their wedding party. I wasn't, you know, all those things that I ignored through life.
Right.
And that's huge. I even like
addressed it.
Yeah. I never, so it hasn't, you know, that happened, and I hardly ever see her. So, but I was going to see her because we were going to help him move in yesterday. Was it yesterday? I thought it was yesterday. And so it's my first time seeing her since then, really.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, oh. Then, you know, I started doing little nasty stories. Oh, well, she'll never come visit me. I'll know she doesn't want to see me. You know, it's just the poor me stuff. It bubbles up once in a while. But I went down there, and I saw, wow, she's not happy. I looked at her as a person. You know, and they've been through hell this past year and a half. They had to pick up and move everything, and to move here. They've been 27 years, pack it all up. They just got boxes and boxes everywhere in this house. They didn't have a place for 3 months because their house sold, but they didn't have this one yet. So, you know, talk about being at the worst place you can be. But I was able to look at her for the first time and like, wow, this isn't about me. Surprise! This is she's not about her not liking me or liking me, and it's not my brother that doesn't like me because of it. It's like it doesn't matter. I mean, I think maybe it's just her personality, you know, especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's angry and, having a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you were
it was
able to see it had nothing to do with you.
weirdest thing ever, because I have, ever since that 20 years ago, whatever, I've had this, that's, she doesn't like me. Just trying to go through that, deal with that. Because
Mm-hmm.
how can someone not like me? What could I have ever done, for family? I mean, other people, okay. But, but first of all, not everyone's going to like you. Let's face it. And just like her, I was like, well, I guess I don't particularly like her either. I mean, I don't dislike her, but she's family, so you love her, I mean,
Right.
I always like her, but
Mm-hmm.
I do love her, so it was like a whole different spin on it all. Again, that core belief comes up. Oh, she doesn't like me, I'm going to have to deal with that. I'm going to see my brother is my safety net. He knows that he knows that she knows that I'm not lovable, kind of like that kind of twisted thinking,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't like that at all.
Nope.
And I could see more objectively. Oh yeah, she talks to my sister. You could tell she enjoys her, and she doesn't talk to me. It's clear. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but it's not about me. I don't
No.
think it's a reflection of me anymore.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
that's the other big huge feel in the last 2 weeks that are tied to this. Well, this theme is, I'm human, and okay, so see, there's something wrong with me. She doesn't like me. And I remember her saying something when I was in high school, how I chew with my mouth open. So Matthew told me, you got to be careful when you eat. You can't chew with your mouth open. Just so I imagine her judging me. She
Right.
is judging me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling the feels, but also because I'm not okay the way I am. Of course, that's the message, right? But it's, that when you have that as your core value, and it's funny how it bounces up in different parts of your life. Let's say, you think you're not lovable. Okay, send this with her. And then it's like, okay, good. She sees it now. She knows that I'm not lovable. And it becomes, this story. And this is what I've been trying to say, is you get this story that you're not lovable. And
Mm-hmm.
then you validate it with this information, with that information. Whether or not it's close to being, you could validate it. I could take it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, of course. But it's not necessarily has to be that way.
No, and
Because
that's all part of asking that question, what's wrong with me? Your mind is going to go through its data bank, and it's going to give you a list a mile long of all the things that you've ever thought were wrong with you.
yeah.
So change the question.
Yeah.
Change the question.
And
Yeah.
I looked at her and I was like, she is not happy.
Uh-uh.
I mean, and she was kind of, she and my brother were kind of, it was rough to watch but it's not the amount of stress that they have in their life right now, So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, and do I care? Oh my gosh, it's not like I would seek her out for companionship,
Exactly.
So what's the big deal?
Yep. I mean, it's the perfect example of that spiral. It will continue to come back and come back and come back with deeper understanding, greater awareness. It allows you to shift that perspective.
Yeah.
And because you didn't allow yourself to spin in that old story, you were able to see things completely differently.
It was the weirdest day. I mean,
It's empowering, Janice. It's empowering.
Yeah. So this whole concept is so important right now to me, in a different layer than it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think first of all, I think I get that core belief, and I see that it's popping up.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get that core belief is what gave me the feelings or whatever I've had in the past with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that trying not to have the feelings, because you don't have those feelings. You don't think about whether or not family members love you.
Right.
I mean, it took me years to deal with. I don't think my stepmother loved me. I think she loved me, but well, yeah, it's a different story. But I couldn't admit it until I was much older. And I did this. I did the same thing with her. It was in my face.
Mm-hmm.
But who cares?
Mm-hmm.
I don't seek her out to accompany. It doesn't mean I don't love her. She's family. I still love her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not black and white, and it doesn't mean I'm a failure. And I have the feelings. Okay, so then you can go through. Well, see what you did with this, Janice. You made this big deal, and what's going on? No, I had the feelings because I have a life with issues and thoughts and experiences, and that's ended up being my core belief.
Mhm.
Okay, look at that. That's why I shut it out, and then that's why it hit me in the face like a ton of bricks, and then I didn't know how to deal with that feeling. Of course not.
Mhm.
So that was just so interesting. You are human, you have the feels. Human beings have the feels. They're not right, they're not wrong, they're not good, they're not bad. Whew.
They just are.
Yeah.
And that's where, when you see it, you have the opportunity to shift it. Because do you believe that you're not lovable anymore?
I know.
No.
I think that she doesn't appreciate how lovable I am.
But that's her loss. We're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay.
But even that, I don't even think that so much as I think, I wonder what happened in her life that she sees me and something about me that grates on her. Because really, it says something about her.
That's embracing your empath.
Because I am a feeling person,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, and I will say things, and I said things, and I feel towards my brother, especially towards my brother. I've had, definitely brother issues in a way that I thought was saving me my whole life, and I feel that way. Anyways, so I'm sure that affected her because she had to compete with me, maybe. So who the heck knows where that's from? But I don't. It's not about me. I think it's her. And for me, my feelings about her were probably about me because I didn't feel love from her.
Exactly.
So yeah, of course I didn't enjoy searching her out or whatever.
Well, when you hold a core belief that you're not lovable, the universe gives you evidence of that over and over and over again. Yeah. That's why being able to shift it and you being able to say, I am lovable, we allow ourselves to start seeing all of the ways we are loved.
Yeah.
We just have to receive it.
And the three things that they say that you're I don't know, they didn't use ego, this story. And they talk about, you have three: you seek pleasure, avoid pain, conserve energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah, seek pleasure, that's a duh. But it's me. For me, it was food, though, not a healthy one. And we do find unhealthy ways: alcohol, drugs, eating, sex, whatever it is, exercise, whatever it is that becomes your compulsion, so you don't have to deal. But
so what's your instant gratification now? What has that shifted to? At least in the examples you've given today.
Interesting enough, I didn't need it like yesterday.
Well, see, this is interesting. They said it shifted. The instant gratification is allowing yourself to pause.
Yeah.
The instant gratification is allowing yourself to go through your process.
Yeah.
That's very different.
So the avoid pain, it's just explained to me this whole numbing and the things that look at the time already. The things I beat myself up about is I want to avoid pain. And let's say I have a very big pain. I don't, my core belief is I'm going to have to face the fact that nobody loves me and I'm unlovable. That's pretty big,
Yes.
So of course I'm going to avoid it, and especially, the eating and the whatever I do. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a bad person. That's getting into the same thing. We're all just human. I'm not a bad person because I spent a life trying to avoid pain and not done some of the things that could make me healthier.
No, it's understanding the adaptations you've had to acquire over the years in order to survive without judgment. And that's the biggest thing right there. You're not afraid of facing your pain anymore.
Yeah.
Because you've been able to train your nervous system that emotional pain isn't going to kill you. It's meant to move through.
That's true.
It's there to teach you something.
And the third circle was conserve energy. And I do have this habit of if I'm getting into a difficult place, I want to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And because why? Because I got to conserve my energy. If I go into the feeling place, I'm going to die. Everything's going to just fly away. So I don't. I got to conserve it. Mm-hmm. So I don't go to in the past, and even sometimes now, you don't go to that place. So I thought those three. It's called the motivational triad, which is similar to what we've talked about, but just a little different. Same but different.
The thing that grabbed me with the conserving energy was the mental part of it. I understood, that nervous system response. We need to conserve energy, physical energy, because we may need it later when we're under attack. I didn't really put together the mental energy, and it takes a lot of mental, emotional energy to shift a pattern and to shift a belief. We talked about rewiring our belief systems. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So that was a light bulb moment for me.
Yeah.
In that. So, we want to leave you with tools. We always want to leave you with tools after talking about all this. And it's get curious. Your ego mind, your immature ego, as we like to call it here, will fight against any change you try to make if it feels it's going to endanger you. I mean, even if the familiar is an abusive situation, physically, emotionally, it will defer back to that comfortable space because at least you know what to expect.
And you know how to deal with it.
Exactly. So get curious and start asking questions. How can I make this situation better? How can I shift my thinking? Would it be possible for when you question the brain, it doesn't fight? Be the observer. Janice gave perfect examples of how she was able to watch and observe not only her behaviors, but others. That pause breaks an automatic pattern. So important. And the observer has to be non-judgmental. As soon as you cast judgment on yourself or the other people, you're pulling back into the loop.
Yeah. And there's nothing that's wrong with feeling whatever you're feeling. Nothing.
No. Give yourself permission to feel the feels. And then catch and release. We've talked about that on the show before. When you have an old thought coming up, Janice did a perfect job. Oh no, here comes that thought that I'm not lovable. She caught it. And when you catch it, you can step up onto that observation deck and look at what's going on and let it go. She doesn't believe that. That's not true anymore. That's not true anymore. That's the release part. And I always say, when I started this process with catch and release, I was doing it 400, 500 times a day. And I'm not kidding you. It was that much. And that does take a lot of energy. So next part, give yourself grace. Small steps make big change. They really, really do. Get curious. Give yourself grace. Focus on what you can control. Shifting the narrative that runs in your mind. Stay out of the old stories. Make peace and play your priority. Is this feeding my peace or is it feeding my pain? What brings you joy? Set the intention to do something every day that brings you joy. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be a production. It can be listening to a favorite song, dancing in the kitchen, watching our podcast. Reach out and connect. Like Janice was saying, we're starving for connection. Reach out and connect with someone you trust and enjoy sharing time with. And understand that this is practice, practice, practice. We're rewiring a system that has taught us there's something wrong with us. We are flawed. We are broken for generations and generations. Practice, practice, practice. You aren't flawed. You're human. And we're here to enjoy this human experience. We want to thank you for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember,
you are not alone.
And don't ever forget, you are awesome.
Thanks, everybody. So glad to have you here. Have a great day.